Hey, welcome back to the channel, guys. All right, we have an exciting video for you today. So as most of you know, I did have a Hellcat Challenger before my 2019 Mustang GT, and by request, a lot of you guys want to know, how does the Mustang compare to the Hellcat? You know, it's saying something really to give up 707 horsepower to go down to a 460 horsepower new Mustang GT, especially when we're talking about, around that $50,000 price range, because the Hellcat Challengers can now be had on the used market for around $50,000. And that's about what I paid for my 2019 Mustang GT. So we're gonna see how they compare in this video. All right, guys, in front of me I have a 2012 Challenger, and this is the yellow jacket. So as I'm told, this is one of 900, so very, very special car, even though it's a 2012, and this is obviously not a Hellcat, but it is a Challenger nonetheless. So I already had the Hellcat. I know how it's going to compare to this. Same pretty much body. They didn't change a whole lot. The interior is great. You got lots of room. It's a bigger vehicle compared to the 2019 Mustang over there. Very, very awesome car. Dodge versus Ford, Mopar, I mean, they're all great. All right, so here is the owner, John. So this is a beautiful, beautiful car. You want to tell us a little bit about it?
Yes, I bought this new in 2012, and I wanted something different. I did not want anything that everybody else had. So I chose the yellow jacket because they made a limited number of these cars, and get a lot of compliments on it because of that. It's just not your ordinary car that runs around, and supposedly I bought the first one in Tennessee. I do enjoy the car. It's fun to drive. It's manual, as you see, and it's just a real fun car to drive.
All right, guys, so if we check out the interior here, this is something that Dodge just absolutely nails. So very, very clean layout. This is not the updated version that they changed for 2015, I believe. Gave everything the modern touch, but this is still an awesome place to be. Even the seats retain, the same similarities that the new ones have. You have these nice aggressive bolsters here. And here's something I'm a big fan of, Alcantara. So if you want that in a Ford Mustang, you pretty much need to give up your firstborn to do that. They just don't allow you to have it. But even on your upper and lower trim models with, all Challengers, you can pretty much option in, the Alcantara interior. I just love it. And it's all over the door as well. And if you've been following me for any length of time, you know that I'm a huge fan of Alcantara. I just love it to death. All right, guys, so talking to the owner, this car is tuned. It's got a cold air kit and a Flowmaster exhaust, which sounds really great. And it is making 434 horsepower to the ground. So similar numbers to what a Mustang GT would actually put down. So I love the new body Mustangs, the S550s. I'm in love with them. But Mopar, Dodge does it really, really great. Even these older cars, they look fantastic. I love the boxy look of these things. It's very old school, but yet modern at the same time. All right, let's see how this bad animal sounds. Alright, guys, let's get buckled in. So this is not a Hellcat. This is a manual transmission car, and I have not actually driven a manual transmission Challenger at all. So this is going to be awesome. We've got heated seats, we've got the sport mode, we have all of that. This is great. So a little bit older of a vehicle compared to the Hellcat, but having owned the Hellcat not too long ago, everything is still very fresh in my mind. You definitely love the space that you have. You have more space in this vehicle compared to the Mustang. So this is arguably better for road trips, but this video is solely going to be my opinion. Should you buy like a Mustang as a daily driver or a Challenger? And we got a heavy clutch, so let's not stall this out and see how it goes. And we're off. So this vehicle has a 6.4 liter big V8 in it, and you can tell right off the bat, all the torque that you have. So you have a lot of torque in the Mustang too, but something about this old school feeling is just, it's excellent. It's awesome. You know, the Mustang is a lot more refined, and this feels a little bit more old school. And this shifter is awesome. It's like a pistol grip. It's great. So you have lots of room. Very easy transmission. Let's get on the road here. Very easy to shift. Lots of power. Definitely lots of power. Yeah, plenty of power. Big old V8. It's really fun to drive in a manual transmission car. You guys know that I have the 10-speed, and it's very, very modern, and it's very refined, very fast. But you know, getting in a you know, bigger vehicle like this, I mean, this is the epitome of American muscle right here. It's absolutely great, and to have this vehicle with a stick shift, so it's just awesome. That tells me why some people still buy the Hellcats on a manual transmission. It's fantastic. You know, you can roll your own gears, you can feel that connection to the car. You know, I still prefer, as a daily driver, my 10-speed automatic, you know, every day of the week and twice on Sunday in the new Mustang, just because it is so fast, it's so refined. You know, you can really just concentrate on your driving. You don't have to mess with anything, and you let the car do all the work, and you still feel very connected. You know, both are great, whether you're rolling your own gears or you just got gas pedal and brake. It's all good. A very, very comfortable ride inside of this vehicle. We're just cruising on this road now. It's fantastic. It's great. You have lots of visibility. You know, but how does this compare to the Mustang? Well, you know, it's a very tough choice. If you are in the market to buy, you know, a Hellcat or a Challenger, and you're also looking at the Mustang, you know, it's tough, because in the Mustang you still have great visibility too. You know, but this is definitely awesome. Now, if you have a bigger family, one thing that you cannot do in a Mustang that you absolutely can do in this is you have a big rear seat. So you have higher headroom, so you can actually put real size adults back there. In the Mustang, that can be a very big challenge. You also have more leg room in the back seat as well. So it's definitely truly special to be, you know, driving a vehicle where there's only one. This is 1 in 900. Remember that. So this is definitely still special, even though it's 2012 and it's a few years old. I mean, you can't beat it. You know, we don't have Hellcat power here. You know, 434 horsepower this thing is making to the ground, but it's still plenty fine. And the Hellcat, you know, giving up 707 horsepower to go back to a Mustang, you know, a lot of people might see that as a downgrade, and it's just truly not. Because honestly, that 10-speed transmission makes up for it. You know, basic few bolt-ons to that Mustang, and you're running 11.3 and a quarter. Big shout out to Stang Mode, because he does that consistently at the track. So he's definitely proven that you can do it.
Just to go over the mods real quick one more time. We have the JOT Colder intake. We have the Steeda Stop the Hop kit. We have the X-Pipe. We have the tune from Rob Shoemaker E85. And this baby goes 11.3 at 123. Naturally aspirated 2018 Mustang GT 10-speed automatic. Let's go.
And I can't wait to mod my own 2019 so that we can actually do the same stuff. And then eventually we're gonna, you know, throw some power at it. So, but your overall goals for this is you're probably gonna cam it?
Yes.
Yep.
You're gonna cam it, new heads, and retuned.
Awesome.
It should put about 70 to 80 more horsepower to the ground.
That'd be excellent, especially off of a naturally aspirated engine. I mean, you can't really beat that. Two different worlds. You know, you have a big cam V8 versus, you know, a forced induction car. They handle a little bit different. They put the power down a little bit different. And a cam in this would definitely sound really good. So my question for you, John, is have you always been a Mopar guy?
Yes. yes, I've liked Mopars, but when I was younger, I did have a Chevelle SS 396. So, and I have had a Fox Body 5.0.
Yeah.
So I've kind of tested all of them out.
Yeah.
Just wanted to change.
Mm-hmm.
So I went back to the Mopar.
So what is your favorite thing about this vehicle?
I love the way it handles. It, like you said, it's got plenty of power stock, basically like it is. But I like the room too, and the visibility that you have.
Yep.
And it does really well on road trips. If you keep your foot out of it, it gets really good gas mileage on the highway. But it will get up and romp when you need it to.
Well, let's see what this thing's got. Let's drop to third. There we go. I missed that one. That was a quick 55 mile an hour right there. Always be illegal.
Takes a little getting used to.
It's been a few months. We drove the Shelby GT350 yesterday, and it was flawless. But this does have a heavier clutch for sure.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Two totally different cars. I do love the way that you still have this notchy shifter. It feels really great when you're shifting gears and throwing them in place. But yeah, there's lots of room in here. So again, going back to what is the better daily driver? My opinion is, it's really hard. I grew up with Mustangs. My dad had an old Mustang, and he did just fine with us as kids. Putting us in the back seats and in the front seat, and rowing gears with him and stuff like that. Me putting my hand on his and shifting together, and it was great. It's awesome to grow up with, kind of like your son, John, growing up with, fathers that are into this kind of stuff.
It is a bonding thing.
Yes.
It's something that it keeps us close together, and that we can do together, and we both enjoy it, and we spend a lot of time with each other because of it.
Mm-hmm. So the trunk space in this vehicle is a lot bigger. So if you are traveling a lot and you're doing a lot of cross-country type stuff, maybe this might be their better buy, or maybe a Hellcat. Because with a Hellcat, you have a ton of power, and you have all of this interior room too. And even better yet, probably the ultimate family vehicle is the new Hellcat Charger. Here we go. This is still, plenty fast. This is all that you'd ever need to live with on a day-to-day basis. But, at the end of the day, I'm still going to prefer the Mustang, just because I like the smaller, more nimble vehicles. Even in the new S550 chassis Mustang, you still have plenty of trunk space. You do give up some leg room in that rear back seat, but it kind of is what it is, and you just adjust to. I think that you can't go wrong with either. So if I was a new shopper and I wasn't tied to like a favorite brand, because that's kind of the way that I actually am in real life, is I'm very unbiased. Everybody makes a great product. They're all different. They all satisfy different people's needs and wants. And I love all vehicles, regardless. But having owned a Hellcat and owned a bunch of Mustangs and Camaro and stuff like that, I do have a soft spot in my heart for the Dodge products, and the Dodge community is actually great too. Very, very different group of people that own Dodge Challengers and Chargers. The Mustangs are typically your top seller when it comes to sports cars, because they just Ford sells the crap out of them. So you have a lot more people, but the Dodge following is awesome too, just like the Camaro guys.
All in competition with each other, so they stay close.
Yep, it's kind of like, do you want a Silverado truck? Do you want a GMC truck? Do you want a Ford truck? They all are a little bit different. But at the end of the day, you're going to have fun in all of them.
Absolutely.
But this is definitely a very special vehicle. It handles great. especially the SRTs. Does this one have the adjustable suspension, or is that something?
Yes, when you put it in sports mode, it actually adjusts to the road. It gets more rigid, and it makes it more of a sports car.
So now we are in sports mode. You can still heel toe plenty fine when you're downshift in this vehicle. So a big thing why people hate on the Challengers is just the weight. You cannot hide the weight. You know, a Hellcat is like 4,400 pounds, but people don't honestly give that vehicle a fair shot because they look at the numbers on a piece of paper and they don't get behind the wheel and actually go test drive it and put it through its paces. It's a big heavy vehicle, but the suspension is knuckled down in that car. Yes, it does pretty good on track. The Mustangs do better, the Camaros do better, but this is a bigger vehicle, and just, you know, sometimes people forget about that. I think that it's fantastic. It doesn't feel sloppy. We're not, you know, flopping up and down. It does not feel like a boat.
It definitely will fool you on back roads and in curves.
Yep.
You would not think it would hold to sharp curves and the way it does, but it will hold a curve for a big car very, very well.
So another thing too that's really important that I should probably mention is this, in my opinion, is the last of the muscle cars, because the Camaro and the Mustang both, I don't personally consider them muscle cars anymore. I know that that's going to hurt some people's feelings, but the way that everything has gotten lighter, the way that the power is delivered with the suspension and the handling, they've become very fast, modern sports cars. And the Mustang has always been a pony car. You know, it's never been a big muscle car. But Dodge, you know, when they first came out with the Challenger way back when, you know, they built a car to go out there and break records, and they were doing it. If you want a muscle car in 2018 or beyond, you know, this is your vehicle. You can't do it with the others. They're sports cars. I'm sorry about it, but that's just my opinion. So this is a big, heavy, you know, brute muscle car. This thing is great. I really do.
Yeah, I mean, you know, you can edit this out, but yeah, I mean, if you get on it and put it to the floor and really bang the gears on it, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I mean, you know it'll get sideways with you. But we're not out to do that today.
Right.
No tickets today.
No tickets today, no racing today. This is just, we're going to talk about my opinions, you know, Challenger versus, you know, Mustang. Which do you prefer? Everybody has their own cup of tea again, but, you know, they're both great at the end of the day. I like the Mustangs better because I like smaller, nimbler cars. My Hellcat was fantastic. It was great. Handles just good. There we go. A little sideways, a little squirrely. We didn't spin out though. We may have bottomed out a little bit. I hope it hurt nothing. That was great though. It didn't feel scary in the corner there. We didn't fishtail. We didn't just spin out. None of that.
Yeah. These are slick roads back here too. But
Yeah.
I mean, as long as you know how to drive it, you can. When it does that, you can get it under control.
That was a big thing that as we come to
It'll power slide very well.
as we come to a stop here, it's something that I noticed with the Hellcat too, was as heavy as it was, as big of a vehicle as it is, you know, you know, when you get a little squirrely like that, you still felt very in control.
Mm-hmm.
And no time ever did I feel like I was going to lose the car. But anyway,
It will stop on a dime.
yep,
too.
it's got the big brakes. So that's going to wrap up this interior video and my opinions on, you know, which direction you guys should go with. So I hope that this will be some value to you guys, and you know, good luck shopping if you're in the market for a muscle car or a sports car.